I'm in Texas. It's March 5th, 2021, Austin, Texas. The mask mandate is going to be lifted by next Wednesday. But I already lifted that shit because I think it's bullshit, so I never really wore one. These girls aren't wearing one. Good for them. I love it. I love to see there's these cute little girls skateboarding. These cute little skateboarding little girls. I love it. And they're, I don't know. I'm really excited about that, but I think that, the crazies are out because there's still people saying that they're going to wear their masks no matter what, and it's fucking bullshit because masks are bullshit. And, it's in the 70s here, late 70s, and I'm really grateful because a couple weeks ago I was freezing my ass off. But yeah, I don't really, I don't know what to say for those people that still want to wear their masks. I guess they just love their slavery. Just love it. They love being a slave. I'm not a slave, so, I'm not going to really wait. The thing I guess I'm disappointed in is that there's so many people that went along with it. That's the thing that's freaking me out. This could have been ended way earlier if most people just said no. But, people went along with it because they believe in authority figures. And like they're gods, like they can't think for themselves. They need people to tell them what to do. It's really sad, but also very creepy. People don't really think anymore. I think I mentioned, I don't know if it was the last video, one video about a guy that had a lint roller. He was standing outside of a building and he just gestured for people to put their arms out. And he just rolled the lint roller over their body and then they would just go into the building and nobody said anything. Like, that's how compliant people are. So yeah, today I woke up and I saw that my best friend that I've known since I was 14 is posting where to get vaccines at the local vaccination center. Oh, look at another little pussy with this fucking mask on in the car by himself. Okay, you're by yourself in the car, dude. Like, come on. You're not as stuck as you think you are. Anyway, so I should maybe go, let's try a different way. I'll go this way. I'll go this way today. Yeah, I was really upset, but I just, maybe there's just some people that want to die. Maybe because I'm just really puzzled because his dog was vaccine injured and he doesn't take the flu shot, and I don't know. I think you have to get to a point when you realize that they're all like no vaccines work. Like, none of them work. Like, none of them are safe or effective. And that's the bottom line. And I think there's some people that are just like, oh, maybe, maybe some of them work. And I was there, so I can't really judge too much because I was there for a while, but I made the effort to try and learn more through the years. I was bullied into taking a tetanus shot when I was in Taiwan. I slipped and I cracked my head open and I went to the hospital, and I was starting to question vaccines then, but I really, I know that I didn't want to take any more until I kind of done all of my due diligence. And anyway, just being in the situation I was in, it's really intimidating when you're in a country and you don't know the language. So the translator's like, the doctor's like, oh, you got to take a tetanus shot. And I was like, I don't want to take a tetanus shot. And the translator, I'm waiting for him. I just hear the doctor like, chang, chang, ching, chang, 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 chang. And I was like, oh my God, what did he say? And he was like, he said, if you don't take the shot, if you get sick, we're not going to help you. If you get an infection, we're not going to help you. And I was like, oh no. Oh God, look at these kids in the park, these little kids. I want to when I see a little kid in a mask, I want to rip it off. It's like, why do this to your children? It makes me so upset. see little kids wearing a mask. I can't even look at them. I'm not gonna look at them. I can't. Anyway, I was gonna walk through that. I can't even do it. Okay. But anyway, the guy was like, yeah. So of course I took it. And it was crazy because I actually had this bomb-ass job tutoring this guy who was a millionaire. He made Apple accessories. He was pretty famous. Well, in the business world, he wasn't like an A-list celebrity, but he was a real cool dude. He was like this, he was a street guy. He was Taiwanese, but he kind of led a hard life, like grew up in the streets and stuff. He was a genius. And he turned his life around and made this company called Bone that made Apple accessories, and he was a CEO and founder and everything. And he I was on my way to work, and I slipped and fell in front of his building when it happened. So it was in the morning. When I tell the story, people are like, "Were you drinking?" I'm not like a huge drinker, first of all. Second of all, it was like 9 o'clock in the morning, and in Taiwan, the streets are made in some parts. Like if you go to the main like touristy areas in Taipei, they're concrete. But if you go to like some of the other areas, they're like made of tile. And like in the bathroom floor. So if it rains, it's like you are walking outside on the fucking bathroom floor. So I just literally got out of a cab on my way to work, and I slipped and fell, like flat out. And it was funny because there were these dudes, like I think I was knocked out for a minute or so because I like opened my eyes and there were these dudes just standing up, looking over me, speaking Chinese, and I was like laying in a pool of blood. And then I got up and they're like, "Oh, you?" They're like, "Oh," they were like, I think they were trying to say, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I was like, "Hama." I was like, "Ah." So I was just like, no, I'm good. And I stumble upstairs, and I'm like, my face is just like pouring blood. And I was like, "No, dude, I just need a Band-Aid. And then they're like, "You need to go to the hospital." So what happened was, they were really nice. They paid for, plus insurance was really cheap. So I had my own insurance anyway, but they offered to pay my copay and stuff. But then I think after I declined, I didn't decline it, but I was really hesitant about taking the vaccine. People were like looking at me all weird and stuff. And then the owner made like, he got really weird, and he was like, I had a certain amount of days that I was going to work there, but then he like ended it early. He made up some bullshit excuse, but of course it wasn't. And I always kind of wonder if it was because I declined the vaccines, because Taiwanese people, they're very nice, they're very intelligent, but they don't question anything. So if they thought that if there was somebody that was questioning vaccines in their company, they'd probably, they pretty much thought I was a heretic. So I lost that job, I think. It could have been a couple other things, but I think that's why that ended earlier than it needed to. And it bums me out because I really like the guy. His name is Riesland, and he was dope. I liked him a lot. He was a really cool guy. And I hope maybe in the future I can reconnect with him. But yeah, anyway, I just went on a tangent. I was talking about my favorite subject, how vaccines are fucking bullshit. It's not going to kill people, and they're not even safe or effective. My favorite subject, besides music and besides chocolate. Oh yeah, I like eating chocolate, and I'm talking about chocolate. But anyway, so it started with the mask mandate. I always start with something and go off on a tangent. What are you doing, dude? What are you doing? Are you trying to park? There's more than enough room for. Okay, I'll just get out your way, because there's enough room for. Oh, you're just talking. Oh, it's a little kid. Okay, I get it. It's like teenager learning how to drive. That's okay. I was the worst driver. It took me forever to learn how to drive. Now I'm a really good driver, and I drove professionally, as you know, because I would make videos in my car driving while I was at work, but it took me forever. I was a really nervous driver. I was a terrible, terrible parker. So driving is one thing I'm very, very proud of, because it actually was a lot of work for me to accomplish. So, yay, you don't have a mask on. You're awesome. So it's kind of mixed. I'm looking at the people that have masks on and don't have masks on. And it's kind of mixed. Does that guy have one under his chin? I'm just like, no, okay, that's just his beard. Yeah, I'm judging all the mask and unmasked wearers. But I just don't get it. I really think that whole thing about shame is true, about how people that are really into it, like it's because they're kind of sadistic. Oh no, they're masochistic. I think they're masochistic in the sense that they're punishing themselves for the shame that they have. You know? Some of them even do S&M. You know, I know people that do S&M, and they're into the mask thing. So they kind of like it. They kind of get off on it. And, you know, that's crazy too. You have those people that they like choking. They like not being able to breathe. And if you're one of them, that's fine, but don't try and push, wearing your mask wearing on me. But now that I think about it, a couple people popped into my head as I was saying that, as I was making that assumption. I was like, wait a minute. I actually know people who are down with that. So, so it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when this mask ban lifts, if there's going to be fighting or if it's going to be crazy, because there's some stores that are still saying that they're mandating masks. And I don't think that's going to go well for them. I think it's going to be like a get woke, go broke thing, because there are a lot of people that don't like wearing them. And they're going to be like, well, if the mask mandate is lifted, why do I still have to wear a fucking mask to come in your store? You know, I don't know if I have time next week. I actually want to go by. There's this place not too far from where I am right now called Lick Ice Cream, and they said that they're still going to mandate masks. And I was like, how can you eat ice cream with your mask on? So an ice cream store is going to still mandate masks for you to go and buy ice cream, and you're going to take it off and eat their ice cream. That's some stupid shit. I told my best friend's daughter, who's basically like my little niece, she's in California, and she hates wearing the mask. She hates it. She's 6. And her mom told her that we were getting the mask ban lifted. And she ran away, and her mom caught up with her, and she was crying, and her mom was like, oh, are you crying a little bit because, you're upset that Texas gets their mask mandate lifted? She's like, I cried a lot. So it just broke my heart. So I called her and I talked to her, and I was like, don't worry, baby, your time is coming soon. Like, it's this silliness is going to be over. And she was like, and then I was telling her about the ice cream thing, and she thought it was kind of funny. I was like, yeah, those people are silly. And I was like, can you eat ice cream with your mask on? And she's like, no. I was like, yeah, right, those people are silly. And when you're talking to, I really want to say dumb motherfuckers, but you can't say that when you're talking to a 6-year-old. So I have to choose my words wisely. So, my mom never said shit like that to me. Even though my mom, it's funny, my mom gets on me about cursing out, but my mom had a potty mouth. I get my potty mouth, now I think of it from my mom. My dad didn't curse, but my mom had the potty mouth. But anyway, yeah. So just, I've just been thinking about that. So I was just like, when I see the kids, I used to work with special ed kids. And I know developing children need to see lips moving. I mean, people in general, because most of our interaction is body language. Even with me learning Spanish and Chinese, I've noticed of having to be a language teacher, your body language is a lot of the meaning that you convey when you're speaking with somebody. It's very important. So even when you're having a class as a teacher, you know, when I've taught online, you have to be encouraged, like they don't want your camera off. You can speak to people, but if your camera's not off and you're not having really the body language exchange of information, then is missing communication or misinterpretation of words happen all the time. Even you notice when you're like arguing with somebody on social media sometimes that things can be taken out of context because you can't put the intonation of the voice or the body language or the lip reading to what they're saying. So it's interesting because you know, I've been thinking about all this stuff, and I guess I'm gonna go up this way. Yeah, okay. So anyway, the body language is very important, and also developing children really need this as they're developing. They need to get the body language cues, and it's going to retard them. Right? And those people that get all sensitive and shit, like, oh, retarded, I'm so sensitive, so not PC. Look it up. Retard means to slow down. Okay? Slow down. It's going to slow down their process. Okay? But I like saying retarded because some people are fucking retarded. And this is retarded. The people that make these laws are retarded. But the people that wear the masks are going to become retarded in their growth, in their emotional and linguistic acquisition because of the mask. And one of the things that my friend was saying is that it's funny that you know, she was actually she was saying that, ooh, this is shiny little rock. She was saying that she's kind of, even though she was upset that her daughter was upset, she was just like, well, it's kind of good that she's upset rather than these kids that just think that it's normal. Like, what do you think is better, right? Like, oh, it's okay to wear the mask and it's normal when you're 5, you know? And her daughter had me rolling because I guess they were in gymnastics, and she was like, you know, she gave the daughter the choice. She's like, we don't have to go to gymnastics if you don't want to, but they made them wear the mask in gymnastics. It's like, for fucking real, you're flipping. Oh, look. You know? Why are you riding a bike wearing a mask by yourself? Why? Oh, I know where I am. I was like, where am I? Okay. So, good for you. Look, no mask wearing, riding a bike. That's my boy. Anyway, so, and the daughter was like, she goes, I put the mask on, but then I take it off and I go, I can't breathe. And her mom's like, yeah, you know, make it harder for them. When you gotta see, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. And this is what I'm talking about. Even if a lot of children did that one, as a teacher, man, if you had like, even a couple, I'll say 10 kids complaining about the mask and always taking them off and stuff, you'd be like, fine, just take them off. You'd be so tired. Like, you know, but just even 1 or 2 will make it harder for them. You know, when I taught kindergarten, man, that was the hardest grade. I've taught pretty much every grade, and I even taught adults. Kindergarten, hands down for me, was just like the hardest, because you have to teach them to do everything. You have to teach them how to hold a pencil, you know, how to tie their shoes, even though they should be learning that stuff at home, but I was teaching, you know, some people I know, you know, and then, you know, you're basically social conditioning them to, like, you know, be in this Pavlovian reality. Now that I know, that's why I stopped teaching. But, you know, at the time, it's hard because children aren't really meant to sit for hours and hours in a classroom like that. you know, the way that the school system is set up. Kids aren't meant for that. And then, you know, when the ones that really are not disciplined, they get told to be put on medication because there's something wrong with them, because they won't sit still for 8 hours a day. But they're fucking 5 and 6 years old. You're not supposed to be sitting still for 8 hours a day. I can't even do that. I'm not 5. I'm a grown-ass woman. I don't even sit still for 8 hours a day. Shoot. But anyway, I'm at the end of my walk. So let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens next week. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, the madness is still not over. So, all right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Peace and love, guys. Bye.